How you doing, YouTube's Will from Will Developments, my 328th weekly update. Hope everybody had a nice new year. Here we are, 2021. It's weird. I'm not that old. I'm 27. I was born in 93. In case anybody didn't know. But it's just weird, like 20 years in one millennium. It's 21 years actually. It's weird. Time works, right? This arbitrary thing. Anyway, I'm not going to get philosophical. Just going to talk about the week. This week was ups and downs. Nothing majorly down and nothing majorly up. Basically, treated this week a little bit like a deload kind of week, just because I've been feeling lately a little beat up, a little torn up, and I've been adding a few extra things in just to mitigate any possible injuries as well as sort of heal the problems I was running into. One of the things I was running into is a lot of bicep and forearm strain just because I've been doing stones weekly, and this is the first week I didn't officially set a schedule of training with it, an actual protocol. I just sort of just did some. And the reason that happened is because somebody was coming by the gym on Monday to pick up some stones that I had made. And so I ended up just sort of training with them a little bit after doing some squats. Worked up to I was supposed to do 2 sets of 10, but I only did 1 set of 10. There's a big mosquito here. Let me see if I can get it real quick. Got it. Okay, we're good. Giant mosquito, like that big. Yeah. So I just did 1 set of 10 with 245, and that felt okay. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either, so, I'll take it. That's kind of how I felt about it. And then I just went and did some stones with them. I ended up just doing 2 triple extensions with the 200, which I'm capable of doing about 5 if I had to. To be fair, I've never done 2 in a row. Normally I do 5 singles. I sort of do it in sort of a sort of how many rounds can I do of stone into pull-ups or into sandbag over shoulder for time. So, or just, do 5 sets of that. So just do 1 stone extension or 2 shoulder, and then do a sandbag over shoulder, each shoulder, single motion, take a minute, do it again, take a minute, do it again, that sort of thing. So hitting it for 2 in a row felt good. It felt fine. It's definitely paying off doing the stones more often, and I'm definitely getting more used to it. And maybe did some farmers runs with him, mostly because he was going really slow with them, and the weight wasn't heavy. It was 170 per hand or something. I was just like, dude, if it's under body weight, you need to be running with that. You should almost be swinging your arms when the weight's that light, which is basically what I did. Just because farmers have always been easy for me. It's always been a good event for me. Just because my grip is good. I've only dropped farmers because of my hands twice. One of them was just due to pure exhaustion, and I think it was 270 per hand or something like that. And then one was because I tripped over a crack in the pavement we were going on. It just my foot just didn't get high enough, and I just hit it just right, and it tripped me, and I kind of tried to recover, but I just had to let it go because it was going to drag me around. It could have been real bad, so I managed that. So yeah, that's basically what I did Monday. I wouldn't call it a waste of a workout, but it definitely was a much less regimented, much more relaxed style of training on Monday. But then Tuesday, I knew it was going to be a strong day for me. Some pressing work, just the straight bar out of the rack. Was shooting for sets of 4. Ended up with a set of 3 at 190, which honestly is pretty. How do I put this? That was good enough. And I know what I did wrong. Basically, on the third rep, I sat there and held it overhead because it was a little tough. And then when I came down, instead of pushing it correctly, I just pushed it wrong and pushed it forward. And I was like, man, I'm out of energy. I don't have it. So racked it, and then I basically just did singles with it until I hit all the reps I was supposed to, which was, like I said, 2 sets of 4. So I did one more rep, and then I did 4 more singles at 190, which is good for me. And the singles all felt pretty easy. I felt like I could have done 2, but I said, no, you know what? You'll probably get more just doing these right rather than grinding out those really rough doubles or possibly a triple. Especially since, like I was saying, my biceps and even my elbows were starting to feel pain just from all the stonework. So to sort of mitigate that, I've actually been doing more curls and stuff like that. And part of it's, the thought process is if I have stronger biceps, it'll probably, hopefully, hurt less. And worst case, it's just going to put a bunch of blood flow into the areas I'm feeling pain, which is good. It should, promote healing. So that's sort of the thought process there. Wednesday off. Thursday, sets of 6, and I actually worked up to 295 for a set of 6. 3 sets of 6, and that was rough. Not exactly light work, but it wasn't crazy heavy either. I remember basically on each set, the first 2 or 3 reps weren't that bad, and then it was rep 4 and 5 and 6 that were like, woof, tough. Ass to grass, high bar. Definitely tough. Did some deadlifts. I just worked up to a single at 405. Just good form and just felt fine. Just because I was so beat up after the squats. I even skipped deadlifts on Monday too, which I don't feel great about, but it happens. And then did some bear squats too with 380. Worked up to one set of 15 with 380. It was cardio for 10 reps, and then 15 was just, why am I doing this? And it was because the guy who was doing it with me, basically he did 8, I did 9, he did 9, I did 10, he did 11. And for me, it's not enough that I win, you have to lose too. So he did 11, I did 15. It's, I'm competing against somebody that squats 245 for a single on a good day. So, it's I'm significantly stronger than him, so it's not even like anything to be excited or proud of. But, sometimes I like to train with other guys, and or they like to train with me. And, you get like that sometimes. It's, you're competitive and we want to do this. And it's like, all right, well, if we're going to do this, let's do it, And then tonight was actually really good, bit of an empty gym. And the plan was to just do 2 sets of 8 on bench. And those actually worked out really well. Went up to 245. And I felt like I probably could have done 2 more reps with each one, which is good. Wanted to keep a little in the tank because I plan on doing some block pressing tomorrow. And I'll do that tomorrow, as well as the accessories for my triceps that I didn't do tonight. Did a lot more back work tonight. So with benching every set I did, which I did about 5 total sets, 2 working sets, I did pull-ups in between, nice and controlled all the way through, so full extension down and then up here, and I just did sets of 8 because that's what I was doing with everything else. And then I did a bunch of accessory work, lateral raises and low cable rows, dumbbell curls, drag curls, and then some scapular retractions, which is one of my favorite ones to do. I really like scapular retractions. Just in general, I think they really help the upper back and help you get that feeling of really pushing the lats down into the pockets where they need to be on so many lifts, squat, deadlift, even bench. And then I feel like doing them on different planes of motion is good too. So like even on a low row, just holding the bar and sort of letting the lats relax to the best of your ability, and then just pulling your chest forward, basically pulling the lats back, the wings back like this, scapula's back. Helps with a lot of things too, really, setting up on the bar and breaking your stone from the ground, you name it. It's really good for that kind of stuff, I think. So I like to do them every once in a while, at least once or twice a week. Usually just body weight for both, so I'll put 200 pounds on the low row and I'll do that. Especially since there's less strain on the low back then too, just because I'm doing so many lifts that are hitting the low back, so it's like I'd rather do it on something that's less impactful on the low back, so something like a low row. And then drag curls, I just love them. I started doing them, honestly, for the first time, well, I guess say last year, right? But in 2020 was the first time I actually started doing them, mostly because we finally have the capability to do them with a twin tower lat or a cable machine. And it's basically just set it really low and then just take two handles or strap to your wrists if your hands are tired, that sort of thing, and then just curl that way. And what's great about it is you can sort of adjust the angle just by adjusting your body. So you can make sure you have constant tension the entire time. Because, if you're doing just a straight bar curl and you come up here, really, if you're right about here, you're not actually doing a whole lot anymore. It's from here straight down to here. That's actually really where you're doing the most work and there's tension. So with this, you can really make sure that, you're leaned back. Even when you're curling down here, the elbow's back, everything's back, so you have constant tension the whole way through. I mean, you could argue it's not that important because you're the strongest when the muscle's closer anyway, but still, I find it's a really good bicep movement, just specifically for the biceps. And so I like doing those a couple times a week too. Honestly, I'm tired of my biceps being sort of overshadowed by my triceps, because my triceps are comparatively much larger. I mean, they make up, 2/3 of the arm on everybody, but especially on me because I do so much pressing, I really kind of want to balance out my arms a little bit more and sort of make the biceps look a little nicer, maybe. We'll see. Got a weight video coming up because tracked my weight every single day in the year of 2020 and dropped my weight down from about 217 all the way down to averaging about 202 right now. And I'm actually stronger and I'm feeling better, and I plan on stopping and maintaining somewhere around 196. So we'll see how that goes. So far it's been going very well. Still allowed to have a sort of meal that I shouldn't have here and there. But so far everything's been going very well with the dieting, but I'll do a separate video for that, so look forward to that. Other than that, there's no crazy new plans for this channel in the coming future. I might start recording some stonework I do and doing some sort of just little videos on that, just because it is something that I do and it is related to strongman, obviously. And people might be interested in that. So look forward to that stuff too. Hopefully you've had a good New Year, a happy New Year. Didn't drink too much or at all like me. And look forward to making some more strides towards some goals you set. And remember, your goals should scare you. And if your goals don't scare you, then what's your excuse?